Hi Scorpio, this is Leah with Half Moon Tarot. I will be doing your October 2022 reading. I have already meditated over the cards and asked that Spirit bring whatever is necessary for you to know, for you to hear, expect, and be prepared for, okay? So in the meditation, the overall message that I got was it was a time of fasting for peace and passion, okay? Fasting for peace and passion. So the cards that come out are the Ten of Swords, the Queen of Wands, and the Ace of Wands, okay? So the Ten of Swords comes through and it's like moving or stepping back away from people and social media and music and podcasts and everything that deals with the head space. That you're stepping back away from those things, right? Because you realize that you can no longer hear the calling of your passion, right? And you're stepping away from these things because of the Queen of Wands. And the Queen of Wands is looking at everything from a peaceful state. She is the representation of peace. Okay, so you're fasting in order to find this peace, to be this confident person that can sit in a space of chaos and be at peace, right? You don't need to be in the world. You don't need to have to be in the chaos. You can just kind of watch it from the sideline and be like, I'm at peace with what's happening right now. Okay? And then the Ace of Swords comes in and it's like, and when you start to find that peace, when you start to move away from the things that aren't in alignment with who you are, that passion comes strong. It will come strong into you, okay? I'm too immature for this. I heard it, I giggled, I acknowledged it. All right, so, with this meditation, I think the emphasis is on the fasting part. Okay, so my challenge for you, Scorpio, this month is to find what is interrupting your peace. What are you doing just to be doing that hasn't you any intention, right, of good or bad? It's just there to be there, you know. What is it that you can fast from? Okay, with the intention of peace. So maybe you are riding to work and coming home from work in silence. There's no music, there's no podcast. This is a time for you to start to build that relationship with yourself. This is the time for you to grieve over the dumb things that you've done in the past. This is a time for you to celebrate the things that you're doing or that you're working towards doing. This is the time for you to gain a relationship with yourself and your God and your spirit and your universe, whatever it is that you feel connected to. But that is something that really popped out in this reading. It's like, it's time to fast. It's time to release. You know, am I really entertained by the social media that I'm scrolling through? How is this applying to my world right now? And I really need something to apply. I need something to stick because I'm losing sight of my passion, right? You recognize it. But in order to get within sight and within ear distance of your passion, you have to be at peace. Okay? So that's my challenge for you this month, Scorpio. All right, so let's see what my Scorpios need to know. Oh, these cards are sticking today. What my Scorpios need to know for October 2022. What do Scorpios need to know for October 2022? Okay. Okay, so this is what we have for our Scorpios, October 2022. The Queen of Wands comes out, followed by the Eight of Wands, followed by the Six of Cups. Okay. And immediately what comes up to me is the pathway to peace. Okay. And really understanding that there's going to be some good times, there's going to be some not so good times on this pathway to peace, but overall you're going to have this childlike wonder on the other end. You're going to have this childlike peace on the other end, right? Because you're going to, if you notice children that are in a space of safety, that they feel safe and stable in, they are going to be their best selves, right? And the pathway to peace in adults is creating that safe and stable space for ourselves, that we could like illuminate in, that we find our passions in, Scorpio. And this is the month to start that road. Okay. This pathway to peace is what we're currently on. Now, the Eight of Wands comes in right off the gate and says, look, this is not going to be an easy task. Okay. This is not going to be an easy task. But if you keep doing it and you keep growing through it and you keep going through it, you will come out on the other end at such a beautiful peace. Okay? The Eight of Wands also lets me know that you've stuffed yourself into a space that you have outgrown. Okay? And this is why we need to fast, so that we can start to detach these connections that we have to people, places, things, all the nouns. Okay. I mean, you have to notice how many times you go on Instagram to the shade room to see if there's anything new, any new gossip. And then like, what is the benefit of that for you? What are you escaping? At that point, it's an escape. So what is it that you're escaping? Okay. And once we can look at that, Scorpio, then we'll know what to detach from. Okay. Why can't you ride in silence in your car? Is it because we are afraid of, the thoughts that we'd be left with? Afraid of the things that we tell ourselves, the stories that we make up about what other people think of us? Just know that it's going to be a rough road, but that don't mean it's impossible. Okay? I gotta sneeze. Excuse me. All right. So the next card that comes up is the Two of Swords, followed by the Four of Wands. There's a lot of wands coming up, right? And I really believe like everything is pushing towards passion. Even in this Queen of Wands card, her wand is coming from her heart. And it's not just straight, it's not going down. It's coming from her heart and reaching up, because the sky's the limit, right? So everything is pushing towards your passion. Like even the Eight of Wands, everything surrounds the passion. Even the shape looks like it's in a heart on the card, but it's surrounded by passion. And it also lets me know that there could be some conflicts of the heart when you are in this fasting period. Okay. And then we have the Four of Wands. The Four of Wands talks about, it's time for me to get off this ride. I am way too old to be riding a carousel, right? That's made for kids, right? I am way too old to be out at this club when there's something else that I have to get done. Like, this ain't the space for me no more. And I'm really trying to fit into this space that is not created for me anymore. Okay? And a lot of people have a hard time hearing that, but only because they want to still fit in that space, and they don't know what that next level looks like. Okay? They don't want it to look like, of an older generation, right? Because they only know what they've seen growing up, the experiences of others, and not their own experience. Scorpio, it is time. It is time to move forward into your new experience. And I promise you, it is not anything that is going to diminish you or demean you in any type of way. It is there to grow you. The space that you are trying to fit into is looking up to you for the next thing, right? So in their eyes, if they see you in their space, why aren't you doing something else? Why are you here? What is holding you back from moving forward? The swords come back up, the Two of Swords, okay? And the Two of Swords talks about, like, ultimately, it talks about walking out on faith and what we have to do, because faith is a blind test, okay? The ultimate blind test is faith. And I have to walk out into a space that I haven't any experience in. I have to walk into a room that I don't know a single soul. I have to be a part of a group. I have to run this group. I have to make my presence known. And I don't even know how to do that. Okay? But you do it anyway. You are up for the challenge. And as soon as you walk out on that faith, Scorpio, and you find out, I can do this, you're going to get off that ride that you're too big for. Okay? And that's the pathway to peace that we're trying to get to. Okay? That we're currently walking, Scorpio. Some of y'all are really, like myself, I'm a Scorpio included, right? I've been really dealing with cutting certain people off. And if this is okay, is this okay? Because the swords are also talking about reflection, right? And looking at what, if I see them as a reflection, do I like what I see? Do I like what I hear? And you really gotta make tough decisions, which comes back to the Eight of Wands. We make tough decisions, but we're not making tough decisions in a selfish way. We're making tough decisions and having tough conversations from the heart. Ooh, the last card is the High Priestess, okay? The High Priestess is like the graduation, okay? She's done the work. She is in a space where she feels confident. She's confident that she did the work because she actually did it, okay? This is even a step up from the Queen of Wands, that is the representation of peace. The High Priestess is the embodiment of peace. Okay, so when you are looking at this, Scorpio, you are in a space right now where fasting is going to be your first step. You need to figure out what it is that you want to fast from. Don't try to fast from everything all at once now, okay? Take baby steps, okay? Is it something that you just need to, you need to figure out what that peace place looks like. Is it you being a better listener? Right? Is it you wanting to open doors in certain places to get into? Is it wanting to start a business? Do you think you'd be at more peace if you started a business? Do you think you'd be at more peace if you went back to school? Do you think you'd be at more peace if you built a relationship with yourself, with your God, with your universe, with your spirit, with your partner, with your children? What does that peace look like? Okay. And then we need to appropriately fast in order to get that peace. Right? So if I want to be a better listener, guess what I got to do? I got to listen to my damn self. Okay? If I want to be a better listener, I need to be able to be at peace and in silence with myself. Because have you ever been in a conversation with somebody and you float all off into the ethers in a whole different conversation with yourself, and you got to snap yourself back? You're not a good listener. You're not at peace with yourself. You have not taken the time to listen to yourself in a very, very long time. So whenever your mouth is not moving, yourself is coming in and saying, okay, now that you're not talking right now, I need to come in and have a conversation with you. So then you black out what's happening in front of you so that you can finally have this conversation with yourself. And that's not fair to the person that you're having a conversation with physically on the outside. You know what I mean? So if you want to be a better listener, you need to take the appropriate fasting steps in order to get that goal, right? So the simple not listening to music or any podcasts or being in silence on your way home and on your way to work, or anytime you're in the car by yourself, obviously, but anytime you're in the car by yourself, you make that vow to you that this is our time. This is my space to have this conversation with myself. This is my space to build that relationship with myself and really listen to what it is that I'm thinking. Listen to what it is that the words that are coming to me, because in order to be a better listener, I have to be able to understand what it is that I am saying as well. Okay? And this pathway to it, the more you listen to yourself, the more self is going to tell you what you need to do in your world. And that is where the hard parts come in, because then you start second guessing it. Then it becomes an uncomfortable situation within you, because yourself told you to cut some people off, and now you're in an uncomfortable position, right? That you can't shake. Because you realize that they are no longer a reflection of you. They are no longer the people that you thought they were. Okay? They're still in the box that you're growing out of, that you've already grown out of, but you fit yourself. You fit your triangle self in a box shape. You could do that. In a circle shape. Okay? And it don't work. You've outgrown it. Okay? So just remember that, Scorpio, and be willing to take the challenge this month. Fasting from something, baby steps. Okay? Figure out what that end goal looks like, because that's peace. Okay? That is what is going to bring you peace. And be willing this month to be on that pathway so that you can embody your peace. And then the passion is going to come later. I promise. The passion is going to come later. But you got to be in a space of clearing out the clutter so that you can hear the call of passion. All right, Scorpio, this has been your October 2022 reading. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, and I'll see you next month. Bye.